Hello, welcome student. In this video lecture, we are going to see the concept of Java. Okay, so in this lecture, we will discuss the following concepts. That is history of Java, and then what's the importance of Java, then its futures, and which environment Java can run, and then where it is used. Okay, so first one is history of Java. Java was introduced by Sun Microsystems, who's the founder of Java means James Gosling. So Vinod Khosla is a co-founder. Initially, uh, he introduced this language as the name of Oak, O-A-K. Then it was changed at 1995. That is known as Java. So after that, more than one versions are introduced. So that is the JDK evaluations. So it's simply known as an JDK. So JDK evaluation is the evaluations are JDK 1.0. It's the first version. Then JDK 1.1. Then J2SE 1.2. Okay. Nowadays, the recent version of Java is Java SE 7. Okay. So it's developed by Sun Microsystems. What's the main principle of Java is write once, run anywhere. That is the main principle of Java. That is called as an Quora. Okay. So in this slide, why Java is important. Okay. So that is Java is important in two ways. One is called it's a platform independent, and then it's a portable one. So there is platform independent means we can run Java in any platforms, that is Windows, Linux, Mac, any one of the platform we can run the Java programs. Okay, so that's called platform independent. But in programming languages C++, it doesn't support that. Okay, they are not platform independent. So next one is it's a portable one. So that's why we can use anywhere. Okay, so that's a simple one also. The mainly these two reasons Java is most important, and then its emergence of World Wide Web, that is which demanded in portable programs. So that's why the Javas are mainly Java concept mainly used in an internet. Okay, that is called World Wide Web. So portability and security necessitated the invention of Java. So what is Java? So it's a general purpose object oriented language. It's an object oriented language. It write once, run anywhere. That's the principle of Java. It's designed for easy of web and internet applications. Okay, that's why Java is designed. Then it's a widespread acceptance. Then Java is one of the object-oriented programming language. But before that, one of the OOPS concept language was introduced, that is called C++. Okay. Then how the Java is differ from C++. So first one is it does not support pointers. That's why it leads to avoid some unauthorized access of memory locations. And then it does not support union, structure, and some other data types. And then it does not support operator overloading, but it can support method overloading. Okay, that is that point of view differ from C++. Some more preprocessor are entirely eliminated in Java, are by using less place of preprocessors. And then it does not support automatic type conversions, that leads to a loss of precision. And then it does not support global variables because every methods and variables are declared within a class. That's why we cannot define the variables as a global one. And then Java does not allow default arguments. It doesn't support a one type of inheritance, but Java support a inheritance because it's also one of the OOPS concept. Inheritance is a main concept in an OOPS. So but Java doesn't support one type of inheritance, that is multiple inheritance. More than one type of inheritance are there. It doesn't support multiple inheritance because of it is accomplished by one concept, that is interface. So that's why multiple inheritance it's not used for Java. Then it doesn't possible to declare unsigned integers. And then important one is Java objects are passed by reference only, not by value. But in C++, objects may be passed by value or sometimes reference. Okay, but Java objects only passed by reference. So these are the features that are differ from C++. Then characteristics of Java. Here that is alternatively known as the features of Java. So that's a simple one. Its code is very simple because of it's the next version of C++. So all the programmers know the concept of C and C++. So that's why Java is easiest one for all programmers. Okay, so for all beginners. And then it's a secured one because it have one intermediate language. That's why it's a secured one. Then it's a dynamic one. Then it's object oriented one. Then it's a performance comparing to some other languages, it's high. Okay, then it's a easily interpreted to some other machines. Okay, so you can easily interpret Java into some other machines. Then it is a distributed one. So the distributed concept is mainly used for Java. That's why it's mainly used in a network side. Okay, then it's a portable one, so you can run anywhere. So these are the features of Java. So then here what are the tools that are used in Java. So Java includes many development tools. Okay, tools and then classes and then methods. So the development tools are in the part of JDK, that is Java Development Kit. The classes and methods are the part of API, Application Programming Interface. Okay, so these two environments are most important in Java. That is Java development tools are in the part of this that is Java Development Kit, this environment. The general classes and methods are in the are grouped into some more packages. Okay, according to their functionality. These are in API tool, API environment. Okay, so in an JDK environment, some other tools like Java compiler and Java interpreter are there. In API tools, just classes and methods are packaged into one name according to their functionality. So these two tools are mainly used in Java. How to execute a Java programs. In Java programs executed in two-step evaluation. Okay, so first step is initial Java program were translated into one intermediate language that is known as a bytecode. Okay, so that intermediate language code then translated into their machine language code. Okay, but in previous level programming languages, when we compile your program, that when we execute your program, the code is directly translated into machine language code. Okay, but in here there is one intermediate step, that is the programs are translated into one of the byte code. Then the byte code is translated into its corresponding machine language. Okay, that is a my program is our Java program. So after compilation, this program is converted into one of the intermediate language programs. So that intermediate programs are stored on dot class extension. Okay, so the dot class files, the program Java program files are converted into dot class files. There's a bytecode file. Okay, there's a my program dot java. After compilation, it's stored as my program dot class. Okay, that bytecode information only goes to its corresponding interpreter, that is called as an Java virtual machine. And then Java virtual machine would be translated into machine language code. Okay, this interpreter then translate its bytecode information into machine language information. Okay, so that's called a ORA concept, that is write once run anywhere. So where run anywhere means generally the all Java programs are in the dot class files only. Okay, that is bytecode files. Then the virtual machine only converted to its corresponding machine language code. That's why it's a portable one. So that's why it's a this architecture is known as a neutral one also. Okay, so here Java code compiler Java C is a its compiler, Java program compiler. So Java C compiled the Java code into that is translated the Java code into bytecode, that is dot class file. Then this bytecode goes to any one of the Java virtual machine, that is called the interpreter. Okay, here, so there is a platform independent, that is Windows, Linux, Mac. So this Java virtual machine converted this bytecode into its corresponding machine language code. Okay, then where Java is mostly used, so Javas are mostly used in an web applications. Okay, so then in an most of the Android applications, 80% of applications are used by an Java. Then to build mobile apps also. Okay, to build mobile games also. So in these places Java is mostly used. Okay, thank you.